Greetings and salutations, my fellow Americans and Deutschland livers. I realized with my last broadcast that I may have upset many people. That was not my intention. I have not come here to this small, insignificant country to make anyone upset. Rather, I've come here to share the knowledge of a much older, more established land. That land I speak to you about today is America. If you guys continue to build this new nation into a big, prosperous nation, much like America, and choose freedom over slavery, you too will be able to have these pieces of technology at your fingertips. This is a supercomputer. You might not be able to see it at home, a supercomputer the size of a matchbook. And with this, we can send messages of freedom via space straight to America. Via space straight to America. When you wake up in the morning and you look at your house and you look at your wife and you look at her boobs and you think, I've accomplished something simply by being me. There's nothing better than that. I walk around here and it must be the most disappointing, heartbreaking feeling in the world to think to yourself, this is what I've got. But don't look at it like that. This is a new country. Germany has just started to prosper recently, and as you prosper, it will stop looking like shit. I mean, you look around, it looks like shit right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't wanna blow smoke up your asses. I respect that just because you were born here does not mean that you don't have the tools within your smaller brains to accomplish someday near as much as we have. Of course you would choose a red, white, and blue color to start because everybody needs to look up to somebody. Hell, I looked up to my big brother when I was little. Like, for example, if you look at this is just beautiful. This is beauty. This is design, color brought to life with flair. I was looking at a packet of cheese. I was in a grocery store in America and I found a packet of cheese and it said a place called Edam, Germany on it. And I thought, what is this Edam, Germany? So I went onto Google and I typed it in and it turned out it was just like, there's a new world happening here. And I get here and I won't lie, I'm impressed. There's electricity. I've been able to find the internet a few places. So I did my first broadcast and I saw a lot of different letters strung together and it felt like people were trying to communicate with me. But as long as you're rebelling against your history, American history, by making up words that don't exist to stand out and be different and make noises that don't even exist to try to stand out and be like, oh, I'm different. Like, I did that when I was like 13 years old too. I wanted to listen to heavy metal, I wanted to wear black, I wanted everyone to know how dangerous I was. I mean, of course we have a great head start. We are a much older nation, we're a much more proud nation. We've actually stepped into the world arena, won a lot of wars, taught people many valuable lessons, spread a lot of freedom all over the world where people can have choices about things. But it doesn't reflect when you come here. In fact, it feels quite ungrateful. And when you start to put words together that have noises like in it, that just sounds like when our TVs break. That just sounds when something goes wrong. That's not a sound that like but I've heard animals make that noise, and like, you don't want to sound like animals. We have to really draw a distinction between ourselves and the animals. And as soon as you start making animal noises in your language, and I try to read these comments, and like literally, what was the presenter guy's name again? Say Seaman Santa Claus? I walk into a restaurant here, and I look at the menu, and there's like 8 things that are gross on it. I saw that he really tries to take pot shots using words that I'm not going to get. And the opportunity to be mean and cruel to weaker people because you feel big and strong and safe in your nation, it's not brave. It doesn't do anything to represent these beautiful colors that you guys have put together. And you don't want, like, you guys are never going to get healthy and get to the size that you could be as long as you're scared to experiment and you're sticking with the same traditional foods. Like, I understand a nation less than 100 years old isn't going to have tradition yet. And no one's coming down on you for that. But if I could do one thing with my job as an ambassador to Germany, it would be to bring you guys to a more aware, elevated space. Seaman Santa Claus? Like, if this for me, I don't know what this says to you all, but this says freedom. I come here and it feels like there's a big lack of self-respect going on. Your women are easy. I don't mean to hurt anyone, but as long as you have easy loose women, there's really not much of a future. I mean, everyone's on bicycles here. Have you guys not seen that it's possible to have big, strong cars that can go over, and I mean, you could have, in America, you could have a bunch of people disagreeing and they're all lying in the street to stop you, and you have a car that's so big that you can just drive over them, and there's no way it's going to even hurt your transmission or your access on your car. It's just going to go right over them. I did one broadcast here, just one. And already I'm so famous, I'm walking down the street and women are turning on red lights and taking off their clothes and just like being, like trying to get me to come in and interact with them and have, and it's just like, I'm just a normal person like any of you all with a little bit of an evolved mind. You try to run over a pile of protesters on a bicycle, you're gonna fuck your bike up and hurt yourself. So for your women to just be so these are your mothers, your sisters, your daughters. And they're just being so easy. And when you have that, you have an entire culture and breed of easy women putting out easy children with small minds. If any women are watching, and I don't know if there are any, I would like to say, tone it down a little. When I walk by, you see me, just come up, talk to me like a normal person. I'll hang out. I'll sign an autograph. I'll take a picture with you. We can just hang out and talk. You don't need to immediately just go to sex. And that's what these German women are so famous for, is just immediately being like, oh, celebrity, whoop, Hasselhoff, whoop. And it's just like, there's no kind of quality control when you start just opening your legs for anyone that you think might be a bit famous at you. You know, it's just like, yeah. That's how I feel about that. Semen Santa Claus?